What's up? It's your girl Shay Parker, and you are officially tuned into Girl Talk right here on Everything Girls Love TV. I'm here with Hope Wiseman. She is one of the newest cast members on WAGS Atlanta and also an entrepreneur. Those are just a few of her accolades. So we're gonna dip into her business a little bit, sip a little bit, and talk all things Girl Talk. So stay tuned. So WAGS Atlanta is premiering next month. How excited are you?
I'm really excited. It's been a while. We filmed all summer. So I'm really excited to see how it turns out. I'm kind of nervous a little bit.
Are you nervous? Why are you nervous? I know you can't give away the show.
No, I can't give away the show. But I'm a little nervous just because you don't know how editing is going to turn out. Right. So, you know, I know what happened, but I don't know how it's going to come off on TV. So we'll see.
Okay, so can we expect any drama at all on the show? Because I know reality is like all about drama. So what would you say the drama level is?
Okay, so I know what we filmed again. So I would say the drama level was probably at like 7, 8-ish. At times we had some 9s.
Oh, that's high.
Yeah. So I mean, there was definitely some drama there, but I'm not sure what's gonna actually come out. But I think that you see a lot of like conflict and resolution, you know, like they don't just like leave it hanging, and we're not really those types of people either. Like pretty much everyone on the cast is pretty level-headed and smart, and even when we make a mistake, you know, we come back around and we can apologize and move on like good girls. Great. Most of the time.
That's good. Right. And I feel like it's probably like that with friendships and female relationships just in general. And so I've been on a reality TV show set before, and you guys film all summer. You never know like how it's gonna be cut, what each episode is gonna bring. So tell us a little bit about like that whole process this summer. Was it a shock for you?
Yeah, it was different because I've never done anything like this before. So it's not like, you know, I've never been on a show before. I've never really done too much TV at all. So all of it was very new, and our show is new too. It's the first time that E's ever done anything in Atlanta, so I think it was a learning experience for E and the production company as well. And just reality TV is just very quickly, you might get an email or text message at 8 o'clock at night talking about you have to be somewhere 8 a.m. in full hair, makeup, you need an outfit, and I'm like, ooh, like I don't know what to do. Yeah, I'm stressed, you know. So I had to get used to that, but you know, it was really, really fun, and I learned a lot about myself going through this. Yeah, you learn a lot doing reality TV, and
you're probably gonna learn even more when you watch it back.
Yeah, I'm so nervous. I don't even like hearing myself talk. So like watching me on TV, I know it's so crazy. I know. Sometimes I'm just like sitting and watching E, and the commercial comes on, and I'm like, oh, there's me. That's my face. That's
right, like so I'm funny. On TV. Yeah. Wow, this is weird.
Yeah.
So, how did you get on the show? Like, how did that whole process even happen?
Yeah, so one of my girlfriends, Kiara Anderson at the time, years ago when I was 18, she crowned me Miss Fulton County, which is a prelim for Miss Georgia. So, you know, I'm a long-time pageant girl, and that's when I first met Kiara. We remained friends for years. I ended up trying out for the Falcons, the cheerleading squad, and I made the team. I got really close to her younger sister, Ariel Anderson. At this point, Kiara was married to Harry Douglas, who he's a wide receiver, used to play for the Falcons, now plays for the Titans. And they were first approached about a show on E separately, just about their lives. And somehow it got, you know, they now ended up on WAGS, and they submitted my name in there, and that's kind of how I got on the show. I do have an ex that plays for the Falcons, and that's kind of like my little prerequisite. That's how I fit in.
How you fit into the WAGS
circle. How I fit in. But yeah, I'm single, and you'll kind of see a little bit of my dating life on the show. Potentially, we filmed some stuff. So
yeah, we're gonna get into your dating life a little later. So you went to Spelman.
I did.
All right, and how did you like Spelman? I went to an HBCU too, and I thought it was like it's an experience that you're not gonna get anywhere else. Yeah. So you went to Spelman. And tell us a little bit about your major and how we got here now. And then we're going to talk about like your other endeavors.
Okay. So Spelman was not my first choice originally. I thought I wanted to go to a PWI. I thought I wanted to go to like a really big school. I thought I wanted to be on the dance team there. Like, you know, that was the picture I had in my mind. And then I had applied to Spelman because both of my parents went to HBCUs. So, and Spelman's the best one. So, you know, I went So I went to Spellbound. That's like your accepted students weekend. Stayed there over the weekend. I really loved it. I love the traditions. I love the idea of learning about my culture, where I came from, and doing that with like-minded women who look like me. So that's kind of how I ended up there, and I really, really loved it. I was an economics major, and that led me to a career in investment banking.
All right. So take us from investment banking to now, y'all catch this real quick. She is the youngest owner in the country of a marijuana dispensary. That's very impressive. Like, when you say that, when people say that, and when you see like that headline in publications, what do you even think?
It's really crazy because I'm the youngest African American female dispensary owner. But for me, you know, when I see that right now, it doesn't kind of probably resonate as much as it does to everyone else, because for me, I don't feel like I made it yet. You know, I feel like this is just the beginning, and I have a long way to go. I feel like, you know, maybe in a year after I've been up and running and I get my second license somewhere, I'll feel like, wow, you know, I'm doing something. Because right now I feel like, you know, this is just the beginning, but I am really excited to be able to inspire other people who have similar aspirations to go and reach for their dreams, because it was not easy for me to do what I did. So I understand that sometimes you might need that extra motivation, and, you know, maybe someone else watching me do what I'm doing is giving them that. Right. So that I do feel I'm proud of in that aspect.
You should be. You should be. So take us from investment banking to now.
And get to that part.
Yes.
No, that's kind of crazy. And if you had asked me, so I started the journey about 3 years ago. And if you had asked me 3 years ago, I wouldn't have thought that I would be here today. So, I'll just start there by saying that. But I was working in investment banking. I was doing equity institutional sales.
That sounds like some money.
Well, I was selling stock research from our company to like hedge fund managers and mutual fund managers. Yeah, so I mean,
that sounds like money, right?
Yeah, it was cool. I mean, I learned a lot. I thought that the best way to put like what I did was learning a little bit about a lot, because what I did was I took stock research, broke it down into really like easy to understand language for you know, people to be able to trade with.
Okay, gotcha.
So I thought that it was really cool to be able to learn about all these different companies and how they work and like the finances of them, and then also just learn how stocks work. Right. So that kind of just, that being an economics major, looking at markets and trends, that's just kind of how my mind worked. And seeing all these articles in Time and in Forbes about marijuana, that kind of sparked my interest on the business side. And from there, I got really into the science of marijuana and the history, especially of African Americans and cannabis, and the criminalization of it, and the prosecution of African Americans within this industry. So from every different aspect, I felt like it was something that fit within my interests and my passions, and it all just kind of aligned, and I made that now my career.
So do you smoke weed?
I hate that question. I really hate that question. This is why I hate the question, because I think the first problem is the negative stigma, right? So sometimes when I just answer yes without giving like the backstory to it, people automatically they're like, oh, you're just a weed head, you're just a pothead. No, I truly believe that most people who use recreationally are treating some type of ailment or deficiency within themselves. And I think that we need to do a lot more research and development within the industry so that we can understand how it works within our body, so that we're not abusing the drug. So that being said, yes, I do, but I don't feel like I abuse it in any way, shape, or form, and I truly do believe in the medicinal benefits. So
listen, welcome to a safe place. Welcome to
I had to do it, right? I had to go ahead and say it.
So I read a little bit about you've done a couple of interviews, and you've talked about just being an African American woman or a Black woman in this industry, walking into rooms and not being taken seriously. How have you kind of handled that situation, and what do you do that you feel like other women can do in any sort of industry to kind of be assertive, but not be looked at as like a uptight, like Black, angry, mad woman? You definitely have to walk a thin line as a Black woman in these types of environments. But I know for me, I always say this: I don't put myself in a room that I'm not prepared to be in, that I'm not supposed to be in. So you know what you're doing, and you know who you're going to be around and what type of environment it is. Make sure you're prepared for that. Adapt to your situations. I'm not saying to change in any way, shape, or form, but I am saying to be able to adapt and to know who you're talking to and know what they want to hear, especially if you want something from them. It's different if you walk in the room and you're the one that everyone wants something for. You can kind of chill, relax, and hope that someone did the same research on you. But I think that's just common courtesy in business, to know who you're talking to, because I know for me, in any interviews that I've gone on, I always do my research on the company beforehand, and I make sure that they know that I admire your company. This is why I want to work here, and I've learned about you. So I would expect the same, in return. So when I walk into these rooms, I make sure I know who I'm talking to, why I'm there, and I'm prepared to be there. So I normally don't leave a room that people aren't, are still, if they were questioning me, they know by the time I'm gone. So I don't have that problem too much anymore. Maybe when I was younger, but it came with confidence. And I think that experience comes with experience and age as well. So you also talked about kind of the hardest part of getting into this business, which was money. And you came from a finance background. So you sort of already had, that foundational knowledge going in. So what would kind of be the 3 top things that you would tell someone going into this business that they need to know about money specifically? One is, even though the dollar signs might look very, very, very large, they might, but you're not going to go into this business and immediately be a millionaire. That's not going to happen. The taxes are really high. The startup costs are astronomical. They're so high. So don't think in your first year of business, oh, I'm going to be a millionaire. Like, I'm going to come out, I'll never have to work again. No. It's a lot of hard work. I'm actually going to be working in my store, like for real, so this is this is not a joke, so that's the first thing. The second thing is, it's okay if you can't do it all on your own. Partner with somebody, find people who are like-minded. Banks aren't going to work with you, so don't go there. Don't even try that. That's not going to happen. Your best bet is to find somebody that has the resources that you need and present a good plan to them. And that's how I did it, for sure. And then my third suggestion, of course, is to go to the angel investor community, to go to individual investors. Find family and friends who are interested in the industry, but only thing with investors is that you really are going to have to work with all their concerns. It is a very risky investment. A lot of financial advisors would say no just because it's federally illegal, and they don't care to take more time out to do the research on it. But I think with our group, we definitely had some individual investors, and I think that their comfort level came from knowing that we had skin in the game ourselves. 80% of our project was self-funded. So I think by them seeing how much we cared and how passionate we were about it and how we give 110%, I guess they're like, if they're willing to do that, then we can put in some money.
Yeah. So those would be my suggestions about finances. Don't try and do it by yourself, but don't expect it to be easy or for it to be a quick, fast money scheme.
Right. And that's probably honestly any business that's like worth it in the long run, that's gonna, give you some longevity, and that's not, an Instagram boutique that you can just listen.
Nothing wrong with that.
Shade, no
right. I mean,
that sounded like shade, but it wasn't.
Well, I do it sometimes too. I even like on the show, I caught myself doing that a little bit. To when I would get into arguments, I'd be like, well, I am blah blah blah, and I kind of would have to bring it back, because just because this is my path and what I'm doing, that doesn't make it any better or worse than anyone else's. So, I definitely don't. I try not to do that too much. But sometimes it happens. It's completely different. The Instagram boutique, that whole industry it has its own trials and errors and pitfalls and all that. So, no shade.
Right. No, really. Like, no shade. Like, seriously, no shade. It's just, different. It's a whole different
That's a
world.
Different thing, yeah.
And this sounds complex.
Yeah.
Like,
it's a little complex, a little bit.
Yes. So your company is called Mary and Maine.
Yes.
Okay. And when can we expect the launch? Like, when can I walk in there?
So most likely it'll be like mid-January. We're going through our build-out right now. So anyone that's ever been through a construction build-out knows how things get delayed, and it can be a process. But we're really excited to be a part of the first round of licensees to open. About 20 dispensaries or so are opened in Maryland already, and they've been doing really well. There's been a little bit of a shortage of product, but it's not a real shortage. It's just the growers aren't ready yet. They're all harvesting, and plants are curing right now. So it's coming. It's coming in due time. The program will be really rolling and be at a good pace by like the middle of next year. But we'll open at the top of the year, and by like April, May, that's when you'll start to see the program really operating like a Colorado. Or a baby Colorado. We're not at Colorado status yet.
Not quite yet. Not quite yet. And the crazy part is, I did not even know it was legal in Maryland until I read an interview.
It's been legal for like 5 years.
I had no idea. I thought it was only legal in DC.
No.
And I was like, you mean to tell me I've been living in Maryland this whole time? And I could have just walked into a dispensary, me something. Okay.
No, we haven't been open yet. See, all the dispensaries that are opening right now are the first round of them.
Okay.
So it wasn't open before, but it was legal. What happens and how every state works, Maryland just had a really slow rollout. Like they might actually be the slowest, or one of the slowest rollouts in all the states that have legalized. But what happens is they pass a bill. Once the bill is passed, then they write regulations. Once they write regulations, then they go through an application process. That's where the licensees or hopeful licensees apply, like me. We applied, and then they award them. Then they give you a year to become operational, and that's the process that everyone is in right now. So you got a stage 1 approval, and then you go through stage 2 approval, and that's like becoming fully operational. Once you get that stamp, then you can open your doors the next day.
Okay.
So that's what we're going through right now.
Okay, so question. They give you a year to become operational. I'm curious, is that where some people may have pitfalls? Just like, you're in this process, you don't know if you're going to get licensed, and then you get licensed, and then you need to become operational in a year. It's like,
and that happened. A lot of groups. So when the application went live, that was December 2015.
Okay.
Then we applied in December 2015. We thought we would get notified by January 2016. We didn't get notified that we got our license until December of 2016.
So we
spent an entire year, just like ding dong, waiting. It was just, we didn't know.
Did you get update emails?
No.
Is it?
No, it was.
I can imagine this
they're not ready yet. It was like it was really difficult. So we spent a whole year like that. So in that year, of course, we were taking strides, but we didn't want to do too much because it's like, You know, we're not about to purchase a building. We're not about to start purchasing product, or,
Right.
you know, we can do a little bit of paperwork and stuff, but it's like you don't even want to do too much of that because it'd be a waste of time,
Right.
you know? So we did a little bit, but like I said, when we got the approval, that's when we really went to work, and we spent this whole year getting ready. The good thing is, once you won the stage 1 approval, the commission really wants to see you get open at that point.
Okay.
So, you know, they're granting people extensions. They're helping everyone. Pretty much, if you get the stage 1 approval, you're going to get through stage 2. You just have to meet the requirements at that point. Stage 1 was the competitive, you know, application process.
Got you. Okay. So, you talked a little bit about in recent interviews, like councilmen, politicians, police, not being for this at all.
Yeah.
Whatsoever.
Yeah.
And I can only imagine that it's probably even heightened being black.
Yeah.
So can you tell us about an experience where you were just like, oh wow.
Like, we were meeting with just some like city council people with our lobbyists, and we met with one of their assistants, and she said to me, well, you know, it's not me. I don't have an issue with it at all, but, you know, and pretty much no one in this office really wants it to be here, but it's really not up to us. The state has approved it, and you guys won the license, so we know it's going to be here, so that's why we're willing to talk to you. And in my mind, I'm thinking, well, at least you know that we're here, you know. I don't know what else to say. I mean, at least you know. But my mission is to kind of alleviate. There's a reason that exists.
Has that stigma.
Yeah,
right.
There's that stigma there. And then I think sometimes for the generation above us, you know, they have been brainwashed to believe in the whole like reefer madness idea. So I think that it's just a little bit hard for them to be open-minded and really hear about the medicinal benefits of cannabis and really understand the business side of it and understand that it's not all this like stoner stigma.
Right.
So I think that education is going to be the key.
Yes.
As well as, like I've said before, research and development. We have to do more research and publish it so that people can feel like from a credible source they're able to understand the effects of cannabis, because that's where I think we're going to be able to kind of alleviate that negative stigma. If people can really understand how cannabis can benefit them, even people that might think that they would never want to try that, you know, because there's like, even a lot of people don't understand the difference between, you've heard of THC and CBD, right?
Right.
Okay, so they're both cannabinoids, which is a compound of the plant. THC is a psychoactive cannabinoid, and it's the only psychoactive cannabinoid in the plant. That's why a lot of people like high THC counts in their flower, because it gets them higher, you know. But this CBD is another very popular cannabinoid, but it has a lot of healing effects, and it's not psychoactive at all. And this is what you see a lot. I don't know if you've ever seen the specials about children with epilepsy that have seizures. And they've been given the oils that'll stop their seizures.
Oh, wow.
Kids that'll have like 10 to 12 seizures a day, and then they're given this oil and it completely stops them. Or they might have like 1 seizure a month. And that CBD oil that has no psychoactive effects at all. Even though THC and CBD it's been studied that them together, they have a better effect. And they're stronger together. But that's beside the point. A lot of people don't even understand that. So,
right. I'm like, this is knowledge that most people
don't know. They think that it's just going to get you high, you're going to be lazy, you're not going to want to do things. But I think if we introduce the ways that cannabis can help you be more creative, be more active, and then also helping people with very serious ailments like cancer, glaucoma, epilepsy, I think that people will start to understand really like the power behind the drug and let the negative stigma go. For me, like, I get so excited when I talk about it because I feel like there's so much to learn and to be explored. And I'm just really excited to be on the forefront of it. I feel like a pioneer right now.
You are a pioneer. And that's so true. Like, education I think is key, but it's not going anywhere. So, you know, I feel like from even 3 years ago, go back 2 years ago, people have become more accepting of it, and that's only going to increase just like any other controversial topic,
yeah,
you know, gay marriage, whatever it is, you know, that happens. Welcome to 2018. We about to go into 2018.
We're here.
So
legal
I don't know. Get with
legal
it.
Weed.
So tell us a little bit about Compassionate Herbal Alternative.
So that was the original name that we applied under originally. We decided to change it to Mary and Main because that was more that embodied the culture of the company that we were building and the brand that we were building. We didn't want it to feel very clinical, which was what we felt like Compassionate was. Okay. We felt like that was a little clinical, felt like a doctor's office, versus Mary and Main is more like inviting, open, and we're really trying to make it more mainstream and lose that negative stigma. So we felt like Mary and Main really embodied that. We're deciding to use Compassionate Herbal Alternatives as a way. We're in the process of making it a 501c3. And we want to use it to subsidize the cost of the medicine for veterans, low-income patients, and patients near end of life. So we want to work with attorneys as well to work with those who are locked up for petty drug crimes and nonviolent drug crimes. So we kind of want to make that more of an advocacy group, hire lobbyists to work amazing. To work with, to work at legalizing marijuana at a higher level. So we have a lot of ideas. I'm really excited to get that started, but that's kind of what we turned Compassionate into. Okay. But originally that was the company that we applied under. So. Okay.
All right. And so for anyone who wants to get into this business, and they absolutely know nothing, like they're just watching your interview right now and they're like, you know what, I think I want to get into this business, what is the very first thing that they should do?
Okay, so I didn't know anything when I first started. I knew nothing and I knew nobody. And the very first thing I did was go online and I Googled networking events. And I was in Atlanta at the time. And I actually went to a Women Grow event in Atlanta. Women Grow, if you Google networking events in the cannabis industry, it's one of the biggest ones. They're all over in every major city pretty much. And it's just a lot of cannabis entrepreneurs meeting together, discussing different ways to make money in the industry and how to work together in the industry. Nice. So, and I find the industry is so small right now. If you go to these networking events or these conferences that are all over, you're gonna meet all the power players in the industry. So I would definitely suggest going to networking events or signing up for one of the conferences that are all over. There's a whole bunch of really big ones. There's even some in this area in Washington, D.C. They have them in the convention center like 2 or 3 times a year. Okay. So I would suggest going to those and talking to people. And I mean, like I said, the industry is really small right now. So you can really get to know the right people. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Okay, so now we're about to get into some fun time. Okay. We're going to play my 3 words or less game. Okay, so here are the rules of the game. I'm going to ask you a couple questions, and you have to answer in 3 words or less. Okay? Okay. All right. So, the last thing somebody did to get on your nerves.
Tell me no.
Okay. All right. Your biggest fear.
Rejection.
Okay. The last thing you ate.
To be all honest. That's the last thing I ate. What did I eat today? Oh no.
Did you eat today?
Salmon salad. Salmon salad.
Okay, real classy. Okay. Does size matter?
Of course.
Okay, thank you for being honest about that.
You know, I got asked
people love to say
one time, but I got asked it real blunt in like the direct way, and I was like, I mean, of course, bigger.
Like your big D's matter.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
That's hilarious.
Right.
Size matters in a lot of different areas.
Everywhere.
So thank you. Okay. Something you're looking forward to in the next year.
Another dispensary.
I love it. Describe your dating life.
Hectic, but active.
Oh, who is it? Okay. Your favorite thing?
My Tempur-Pedic pillow.
Really?
I love it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your favorite artist? Music artist?
It's always Drake.
Okay. And who would you love to see collaborate on an album or a song?
A lot of the greats have already done it. I think Beyonce and Cardi B.
That would probably be lit. I wonder if Nicki would be mad though.
I think she would, but Nicki's mad.
She probably would have a little attitude.
She's mad
just a little. She'll get over it though.
Yeah, she'll be alright.
Okay. Next question. You're like,
that one looks scary.
What are you about to ask me? Okay. If you could move anywhere in the world, where would you move?
You know, I would move out the country. Okay, three words or less. I don't know. I guess I like LA.
Okay.
I like LA.
I could see you in LA.
Yeah, I fit in.
Why do you say that?
Well, when I was out in LA, it's just like, it's really my vibe. Not really like the Hollywood scene, but just like, you know, I'd stayed up in the hills for a little while and everything, and it's just really quiet, slow. I loved looking out at all the homes and the lights and everything. It's just really like the weather is chill, me, super chill. Like, that's me.
I love it. Okay. Something you feel is your biggest weakness?
Easy. I lose everything. Everything.
You sound like me.
But like important stuff, like everything. It's like really bad.
Oh.
I know. You gotta just
start like literally like, I don't know how to actually fix losing stuff.
You know,
I know how to
Googled it, you know,
stuff.
it told, and I forget stuff too. But when I Googled it, it said I have adult ADD. I was like, damn.
Like ADD though? Like, that's what I got. Don't Google nothing because they'll tell you got cancer.
Right.
And you'll be like, all right, at this point, I'm just going to close my computer at this point.
This has to stop.
Okay. Your most favorite feature on your body?
My stomach. I really don't gain weight in my stomach.
That's such a great thing.
I know.
Do you know how many women would kill you for that? I do. Take you out, head off on the mantelpiece.
But yeah, I don't gain weight in my stomach really. So.
All right. And one of your best qualities?
I think that I am very empathetic. I can relate very well. I don't choose to always exercise that. But I do. I'm very empathetic, and I don't think that a lot of people have that ability to actually, like, really genuinely, like, feel your pain or your happiness. So.
Okay. All right. Okay, next game. Yeah, you did so good.
Oh, thank
Most
you.
people are like, can we cut? Let me think about it. I don't know. And I'm like, at this point, don't even worry about it. Never mind. Okay. So now we're going to hop into the fun questions. So you said your dating life was very active.
Yeah, it's active.
All right. So when was the last time that you were in a relationship? And what made you leave that relationship and get to the point where you are now?
So, you know, nowadays I'm really confused on what a relationship is. So I might need you to give me a definition of, like, relationship.
Ask me questions. What is a relationship? What is it? Next question.
Right. I'm like, cause I mean, I might have had one a month ago, or it might have been 4 years ago. I'm not sure.
That's a good question. So I'm thinking, okay, how I define a relationship. I think it's sort of a. Let me take a step back. I'm gonna say a committed relationship. A committed relationship. So where two people have decided that they're going to be monogamous and committed to each other.
Well, This summer, I thought I was in one of those, but I wasn't.
Okay. And that happens a lot, actually.
Yeah.
I know that sounds weird. That happens a lot.
Yeah.
But people just be lying.
For real. I mean, and I think it's because a lot of times men, like, they don't want to lose you. So they pretty much just say whatever they know they have to say to keep you there, but they really have no intention of, like, really
executing that.
Yeah, no. That was never the point. So, yeah, I definitely, like, was in one of those, like, this summer. I guess a situationship. We don't have to call it a real relationship. Didn't last long enough to get that title. But, you know, and it was while I was filming, too. So that was really interesting.
Are we going to see that on the show?
Potentially.
How annoying. Like, annoying, but, like, not annoying in the same sense. Because, you know, it's for the show. Like, okay, like, whatever. Like, I was dating someone. But, like, still. Like, annoying at the same time.
It's like, I really don't want to see it at all, but, you know, it's okay. I'm not one of those, like, bitter type of people. Like, it is what it is. Like, okay. And I know that, like, dating is, like, a part of life, and I'm happy that, like, I get to date and figure out what I do and don't like, so when he comes around, I know who he is, you know, because I think a lot of people can't really recognize, like, who's right in front of them sometimes because they haven't been through experiences, and I think I've kissed enough frogs.
You know, like, so when I kiss my prince, I'm gonna know that it's my prince. Exactly. Yeah. So this is the question that I feel like all women want to know, and we ask each other this, and we ask men this, and they don't know. Right. So, like, you know, I'm just gonna ask your opinion on it.
Okay.
Why do men cheat?
I think men cheat because I just think that men don't value, like, sex the same way that women do. They really don't. So it's not that big of a deal to them. It's really not. And I think that we as women just have a hard time understanding that because it is a bigger deal to us. And it's not always a big deal. But I know, I mean, even when I've been in, like, any type of sexual, like, relationship, talking, anything with somebody, and, like, I don't really care that much, like, I can do that, but for so long. Yeah. Like, I really can't do that for real. So, but men, I mean, like, they can literally meet somebody, sleep with them that night, and then never think about them ever again.
Yeah, and that's kind of wild a little
bit. It is a little wild, but, you know, like, men can do that. So, like, cheating, when a man cheats on a woman, I'm not excusing it in any way, shape, or form. I would not excuse my man, but it's like, I don't know, it's like a little bit less of an issue than if a woman cheats on a man.
Yeah, because I definitely feel like women cheat when they are lacking something in their relationship.
Yeah, and I don't think men, I don't think it's always like that for men. No, I think sometimes it's just
definitely not like that for men. Like, they can have the best girl. Perfect. She bad. Like, she's smart. The shit
out of her.
You know, she's ambitious. She got her own money. Like, she's lit. You know you're not gonna find anybody better than her.
Yeah,
and you still do it anyway.
Yeah, we're still here. So
annoying again. Okay.
Right. I'm just like. Okay.
So what would be your what do you think are the top 3 most important qualities that someone you're dating has to have?
I'm really attracted to driven men who are very ambitious and whatever they do, and competitive. I love a competitive man. So that's 1. 2, I'm more into, like, aggressive men because I'm a little aggressive and I'm a little, like, I'm definitely, like, type A. So I need you to be, like, even more type A than me. I need you to tell me to sit down. And I need to listen.
And sit down. Right.
Yeah, you know, I need to be able to listen. Because I've definitely had some guys that are like, sit down. I'm like, get out of my face. You know, like, you sit down.
I don't even take you serious.
Yeah. Right, like, I can't do that. So I need you to be able to, like, command me. That's important for me. Because I'm really, you know.
Y'all hear that, fellas?
But it's hard though. I mean, but it's hard for me though because I'm like that. So it's like normally I try, and if you let me win, then I'm like, oh no, he can't handle it. That's what I think in my head. You know, I'm like, oh no. And then number 3, you know, I just like somebody that's a little bit, like, rougher around the edges. I'm not into pretty boys.
He gotta be a little.
Yeah,
little hood, little ratchet.
No, that's not what I'm saying. But I'm not saying that. Okay. But I'm saying
because I'm always like, I need a reformed hood guy, because when something hits the fan, I need him to not be looking at me like, what
happened?
I need him to know.
It's like, but anyway,
exactly.
But yeah, not
but
necessarily.
He needs to be, you know,
a man. You know, I like, you know, we can't be trying. I really don't want you to ever want to go shopping with me. Like if I'm like, go shopping with me, I want you to be like, babe, no, I don't like that. Be like, okay,
here go my card.
Yeah.
I completely understand.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Next question.
Okay.
So, what is one thing that absolutely turned you off during sex?
I
feel like this is about to be hilarious.
I really dislike, like, I mean, it's okay if you're enjoying it and all that stuff, but like too much like moaning and too much, or like loudness from like a man.
Too much loudness.
It's just any type of like anything that's just too much. Like keep it at a minimum. You're a man, you know, like keep it together.
Keep it together.
Get it together. Like handle it. You know, that's just how I feel. All of that, like, you don't need to sound like a dying cow. That's unacceptable.
That's not sexy.
That is unacceptable.
Okay. So have you ever found like any issues or like realized that dating is difficult with how ambitious you are and how busy you are and everything that's going on in your life? Do you ever kind of get nervous that you're going to be like that Mary Jane stereotype? Only because, like, you know, EGL, we're really big on being able to balance everything. And even though you may not be able to get done everything, you can still do everything.
Yeah.
And I know for many of us, that's a nervous thing. Like, first, just finding a man who, like, supports you completely and is not on that kind of, like, low-key, almost hating.
Yeah, that's hard.
But you're not sure because it's your man,
right?
So you be confused.
Like,
but then at the same time, like, being able to do his own thing, support you also, like, be loyal, or, you know, just be in a healthy relationship. Like, is that something that makes you nervous?
Definitely. Sometimes I wonder, like, you know, I'm only 25, but at the same time, it's like I'm 25. And I'm not in a committed, serious relationship. And, you know, I'm thinking, like, you know, I'd like to have kids, at least one kid before I'm 30, but I want to be married for a few years before. That means I kind of need to get married now.
Now, pretty much.
You know, but that's probably not going to happen. But at the same time, I'm not worried that I'm going to turn out like that, because I truly, like, I aspire to be married and have kids. That's something I genuinely want. So I know I'm going to fit that into my life. I know there's never going to be like a perfect time.
Yeah.
Or even a perfect person. I'm not a perfect person. So I just want to find someone that fits into my life enough where, you know, we can move forward. And I'm really understanding, and I am very ambitious, so I want someone that's a go-getter just like me, and I want to be able to support him while he supports me. And, you know, I think that it's just going to take a special man who wants that type of woman as well, because I've dated men that I think they admired my ambition, but that's not what they really wanted in their woman, in their mate.
Exactly.
You know, because they want me to be home all the time. They're calling all the time. Where are you? What are you doing? Mm-hmm. You know, they want me to cook and clean. And it's like, I don't.
So it's kind of like you like the idea of me, but not everything that kind of comes with me. Like, you want a really ambitious woman, but then, like, you want me to be at home, like,
all the time, and you're expecting multiple meals a day. It's like, well, when am I supposed to work if I'm cooking all day? You know, I hire a chef or something.
I don't know. Like,
I don't know. You know, I don't know what to do for you. I hire a chef. But, and anyways, I prefer a chef's food. But, you know, I've learned that I am kind of a unique woman, I guess to say. You know, I'm not like the average woman who who has a little bit more time. And although I really do aspire to be married, and I really, like, you know, I'm going to love the shit out of my husband whenever I get married. So I hope that, you know, if he's watching me now, whoever he is, he doesn't think that I'm not going to care. I will, but I just, you know, I have a lot of dreams and aspirations, so it has to be somebody that can understand those and want to see that happen for me, so they're super supportive and understanding. But, I mean, having kids and a family, that's a big part of my future and what I see for myself. So.
Absolutely. So tell everybody where they can follow you, when WAGS Atlanta is premiering, everything you want us to know.
So you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at I am Hope So Dope. And I didn't make that name up myself. Somebody gave that to me in middle school. So, you know, it was definitely foreshadowing. You can follow my company at Mary and Maine. And it's A-N-D, Mary A-N-D, Maine, on Twitter and Instagram. And our website is www.maryandmaine.com. And you can watch me on E on January 3rd on WAGS Atlanta.
You can't wait. Thank you so much for sitting down and talking to me. That's Girl Talk right here on Everything Girls Love TV. Make sure you tune into our next episode.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.